confined within this area. So what we do is we put our first needle in here and inject a little tiny needle, make sure this stuff all stays here. Because what the surgeon's gonna need to know is if this stuff starts leaking down here or into here, it means that these ligaments are ruptured or disrupted. So that's what we don't
And they
want to
work
see.
terribly.
Yeah, God, looking at your CT,
Yeah.
I can't imagine they're 100%. And so the gold standard of doing this is to put this stuff in and then send you an MRI, but you have a plate in there, so it's not gonna,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna show you anything. So then we'll put that needle in. If we see everything staying where it's supposed to, then we put another one in here, and it should fill up basically kind of like this space and not communicate with that. And then the last one is we put a little needle here and inject here, and that should stay here and outside and not go into the other two spaces. So if we put it in here and we start to see it leaking, then we're done. Then we know that, you know, there's obviously ligaments that are disrupted, so they're gonna have to fix those as well. So they only put one plate in. That was the thing that looked funny, because the plate looks good. It's just that it's pushing the ulna like this. You know,
I was
that's
told
where your
they
wrist
should have
is
had
at.
another one because it's
Yeah.
still severed.
Yeah, yeah.
Clearly, I mean, the only
Yeah,
thing
and this
holding
is
it
all
is
the
the
ulna
plate.
going up like that
Yeah,
instead of bringing it back.
correct.
You know, so.
And so the reason that all this has been brought back up, because I started to get a real bad pain right here that just would not go away. And the first doctor I went to, she said that, I'm pretty sure you noticed it, the ulna is sitting on the corner of the radius versus sitting in that little groove.
Kind of next to it. Yeah,
So she
where it's
wanted to
supposed
shave it so that I could get rid of that. And she's saying it's pushing. The reason I was getting that pain is pushing up in here. Kind of similar to what you're saying.
Yeah. The question is, and it looks like, if you look at the CAT scan, it looks like it hasn't even healed yet along the fracture. And you're so young, you should heal them.
Yeah, and I got a lot of scar tissue.
Yeah, and I mean, and you scar like this, so the bone should be scarring the same way. What that usually means is the blood flow is disrupted, and that plate may actually be holding it apart and keeping it from healing. So yeah, it's going to be complex. It's going to be
Because
difficult.
this was considered a reconstruction surgery when they went in there.
Yeah.
Because they took like 7 inches from here of that nerve right there and cut it into pieces to put all of these back together.
So what were you driving?
A very fast race car.
What was
A
it?
Hearst O's.
Oh
But
really?
it's built like
What's the motor?
3,300 horsepower. A 488 LSX.
Oh wow.
Billet motor.
I have that.
13 millimeter turbo.
Yeah, I have two Vipers. They're both naturally aspirated, and then I have my Durango, which Rob hooked me up with the guy to fix it. I'm waiting on one sensor since November 4th.
You must got one of the
Like,
Hellcat
yeah,
Durangos.
They didn't have it. It's 2020. They didn't have it, so I just bought the 6.4 and put a 3.3 liter Whipple on it.
Oh, smart.
It's really difficult to disrupt the wrist bones, and you know, breaking the ulna and the radius or the fingers, the metacarpal. That's a lot easier to do than disrupt the wrist bones.
Because however it
still
happened, not to cut you off, but I just noticed, I never seen a sever on the actual ulna. It's just on the radius. But
No.
it is a big screw here, and I can't tell if it was broke before and the screw is what's.
Yeah, when we get done with this, I'll show you on the CT. You can still see where the big bone fragments are not. They're kind of like this, and then that plate's going across them like this. So there's still what we call a non-union. There's still the fragments of the bone still aren't connected. So, all right. So I mean, the risk with this. Very low risk of infection and kind of go outside the body inside. The other risk would be allergies. Do you have any allergies?
Like pollen, just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they didn't do the, have you ever had the x-ray dye? I know the CT they didn't use any, but.
Okay. No, I never had that before.
Okay. All right.
I had a block. That's about the most I can think of that's similar.
Oh, okay.
I had a nerve block.
Yeah. All right. We should just move the other way there. So if you got a big knowledge in this room to do stuff. At least it's not hotter than hell in here.
It's definitely hot.
Well, man, you should put on the lead vest and stare
Alright,
down
little
and
pinch here.
tap and
1,
gloves
2,
and that.
3. You can feel how tight your skin is, all scarred.
It sting right here.
How about that?
Alright, you want to give me, you can put it back down.
I'm going down.
Okay. What I want to do,
Getting it
give me a
together.
half and half
Getting it
syringe for
together.
the contrast. Yeah, that's what that is.
What is it?
It's not filling the normal joint space kind of look. It's kind of going on.
Oh, that hurt. Oh,
Alright.
shit. Oh, ooh. That felt. I never felt that before. Ah. Sheesh.
There's a nerve. Where'd you hit bone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Or
felt like
dude.
bone.
Turn your
Me?
hand up like that. Just.
Like some Home Depot screws in there.
Let's have you. Actually, let me push this in a little bit. I want to show you. There's top. Oh, you can already see it leaking. Save that. This is what you don't want to see. You don't want to see that little line, that little communication.
Mm-hmm.
That means the
It's
leak
leaking
is
over
between
there
here,
to
going
that.
through.
Yeah.
Yup. Not that it's a big surprise.
So they aren't fused. It's just sticking straight out of the freaking
Yeah, no.
ulna. I don't understand why you would leave one. I mean, they literally have sizing tools for every screw.
Say that. I don't think there's any benefit. Just trying to think of, do I need to do here? You see how it looks a little bit more loosened? Yeah, you see how it looks a little bit darker here and here. That's probably just from this hardware hitting the beam, hitting the hardware, so you lose a little bit of it. The part that I don't like is, see all this right here? You see how light that is?
That's where I be hurting it.
Yeah. See how light that is?
There's nothing in there.
That's what we call necrosis. It looks like the bone. You've lost the mineralization of the bone. It's not nice and thick. Like this is the cortex of your bone. That's how thick it should be from there to there. For it to look like that, you can see it's really thin here. It's thinned out here.
That's why I be hurting right there. Then.
Yeah. And then you can see them, how it's malaligned, you know. You see this is the radius going that way, and that's the ulna going that way. And the ulna obviously connects to the wrist. That's why the radius can go over here, and the ulna and the wrist all go over there.
But that's messing up the function, the mobility
Yeah.
in my hand. where I
Exactly,
can't
yeah,
turn
because
it.
it's coming up and going that way. And then, but the good thing is, and then you have, so normally your radius looks like this. The end of your radius goes up, and it looks like this. It's got this little part here. Yours is, and you can see that's where that little part was. And now it just kind of probably the same thing. It just lost the blood supply and it just kind of disintegrates. Now, good thing is that's not really
Because
that
all
important.
of this should be like right here, right?
Yeah.
And then this should be more like over there.
Let's do this.
Because we had both of my hands on a picture like that before.
Yeah.
You could see the
yeah.
difference on my right and the left. It was just.
There.
Yeah, see, Mom, see how it sit like in that little groove right there? That's why she wanted to shave it.
Yeah,
because
this
mine
little,
is sitting on
that
top.
little nub right there, that's gone. How can I do this to one screen?
Damn, I didn't even know I was missing that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that on my right either.
Well, you had it. You can see the little remnant of it.
I
there.
sure did.
They might have actually cut it out. If it was a fragment, they might have just taken it out. Because the good thing is it doesn't do much. But this is what it's supposed to look like. And this is what it does look like. So,
Yeah, it's off.
and you can see, this is, here's the radius here. There's the ulna here. They're right next to each other, and you're taking a picture right down like that. This one, there's your radius sticking out over here, and here's your ulna curved and going backwards. Yeah, so they've got to get the alignment back in. So hopefully they can do that and get it lined up. If there's anything, what we saw in there, the only thing we really saw that leaked was kind of from here to here. It didn't look too bad. There was no leakage when we injected over here, and there was no leakage when we injected here, going back into that joint space. So the carpal bones look pretty good. There's probably a little bit of damage here, which makes sense because of where the fracture is. But otherwise, it's not terrible. So the wrist itself, as long as you get everything lined up, it should function pretty well. Probably get it lined up, get it looking nice, get it healing nice.
This
And then,
makes me so mad. Like the guy that did the reconstruction, he looked at this stuff a million times, and I looked at it with him. Man, the stuff you're showing me, he never said nothing about it, and it's right there. I mean, you know, if this is your profession, this should be easy to see.
3D picture of it, yeah.
It's all twisted.
Yeah. The big thing is like I said, is
Look at that.
this light stuff here, this light area.
It's gone.
Is it going to come back? You can get that same appearance just because you're not using it like you normally do. And hopefully after they fix everything, it will get back to being.
Because it
really
will
well
grow back,
mineralized.
or it's just gone.
You know, that's the $1 million question.
Because that's what made me go back. Remember I was telling her I was hurting right in here real bad, and I went back. That's why. And she said that it was because the ulna was pushing up on my wrist. But
I think getting the angle right is probably step number one.
because what do you feel about that? The bone that she was trying to get from my pelvis was to pack the hole closed, the union.
Yeah, it's pretty common for any kind of these joint things where you're missing bone, and they probably had to take some stuff out to even get it to where it is now. Usually they use either your hip or your fibula. Your fibula is kind of a useless bone. So this is looking at your wrist, cutting it this way and coming back up towards the hand. And then you can see all your hardware there. So it doesn't look like that screw is really messed up. Or it doesn't look like it's really going into. Remember I said the one came
It's just
from
so long.
Yeah. other question is, yeah, this screw. Oops. Yeah, this screw right here. What is that one doing? That was the one we were looking at in there. And you can kind of see that's where your fracture line is. It kind of comes up to there. So, I mean, these are great images.
Oh, so this is my wrist right here. 'Cause this
Well,
my
these are
fingers, right?
These are your wrist bones, and these are the bottom of your fingers.
So this fracture is where?
That's
like,
the ulna.
Here. Oh, so
Yeah.
the top of the ulna.
Yeah.
Mm.
Never
Yeah,
seen that
So
before.
it's this
Pretty
part.
much this, but right here.
Yeah, it's this kind of this segment right here. You think about it, cut break here and all the way through there, which
Because
It's
it's
kinda good.
cut here, like right in here.
yeah, that's where the
So it has
Bottom
fractures. It
hardware.
was cut. It
yeah.
was
So it
beat
looks
up
like it was
bad.
probably fractured here and fractured here, which in the grand scheme of things is good because you'd rather have fractures in one of these two bones than to have these things all disrupted and broken apart. So I'll get a CD. I'll get it to Rob, and whenever you go and see the hand guy, he'll have obviously this, and I'll have my stuff too.
Gotcha.
So hopefully,
Gotcha.
which is at least close to normal.